What's up, guys? Josiah. It's been about 2 weeks since I installed the Invisible Shield on my iPod Touch, and I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a quick review of it, let you know what I thought, as well as just show you a little bit around like how well it covered it. So we'll start with the coverage. Basically, you can see this corner right here, it's kind of bubbled up, just a very small amount. And the problem was that I didn't realize that you needed to let it dry a little bit before you really started trying to move it around and position it, and there was still too much fluid caught like between the corner and the iPod itself, and it kept pulling away. And so I started getting frustrated, and I kept trying to push it over, and I think it ended up kind of buckling it a little bit. But I think that was more my issue than anything. So other than that, I'll just show you guys around here. You can see it basically it leaves maybe like a 1/16 of an inch between the edge of the cover and where the metal is. So I mean, it covers essentially everything. You can also see that just this corner here, it's not completely covered, but I mean, it's not a big deal. Again, you can just see, again, that little corner there, it isn't quite covered. Now the bottom, it didn't quite align right, but I think this is just the way that it was cut out because I kept trying to budge the invisible shield, and it didn't seem like it was aligning any differently. But again, there's the little corner there that isn't covered. And the volume rocker, there's just a very, very small space where it isn't covered. Other than that, it seems like it covered very well. Now, one thing that I read on the website was that it may hide some of the scratches that were on it. I haven't noticed any difference, honestly. There aren't a lot of scratches, but also you can see that there's a little bit of texture to it. It's not bubbly, but it definitely does add a little bit of texture to the iPod. And as you can see, you really can't notice any of the scratches on it, but it didn't seem like it hid them at all from after I installed the shield. So another thing that I wanted to point out is that I didn't quite remove all the dust from the surface that I was installing the Invisible Shield on. So there is a very, very small amount. I'm going to try to see if I can get that in frame for you guys. There we go. If you can see, like, right there, there's a very small amount of dust caught between the Invisible Shield and the screen. And it's not really an issue if it's still light out, but as soon as it starts to get dark, like let's say you have the backlight cranked up, it's very obvious. Let me unlock it here and I'll show you guys what I mean. Okay, let's pull up my music here. If you can see, there's just little bits of lint, like right there, that little bit right there. And just as far as to show you guys how well the touch actually works, it doesn't seem like it makes any difference now that I have the shield on as it was before. So I mean, you can see you can still scroll through all the artists just as you could before. Um, Again, here you can also scroll through all your artwork and stuff. No problems. I've noticed that it is just very slightly more tacky, but as far as like being able to still use the touch, it's no more difficult than it was before. So I'm very impressed with that. One other thing that I wanted to point out is that you want to make sure that you let it dry. That's something I mentioned before, but just make sure that you let it sit for about 20 minutes. And I actually read on the inside of the box when I was putting stuff away afterwards that if it doesn't seem like it's sticking quite right the first time around, go ahead and let it dry or let it sit for about 20 minutes and then come back to it and then try to position it later. So overall, I'm very happy with it, guys. I would definitely suggest you put one on your device, whether it be the iPod Touch, or I'm actually considering getting one for my MacBook now. Just be aware that you need to make sure that all of the dust or anything is removed. I had thought I had actually cleared everything off, and as it turns out, there was still maybe a little bit left. So as far as that goes, I'm very happy with it. Now I just want to give you guys a couple quick scratch tests, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. So as far as scratch tests go, there's really only a couple things that I can think of, and I want to keep these practical just because, you know, on the Invisible Shield channel they were showing them dropping like nails and screws on these things, and I was like, it's kind of stupid because you're not going to have that kind of stuff in your pocket. But as far as like stuff that you would have in your pocket, I don't know, like chains or stuff that would normally just completely mangle up the back, completely unfazed, and you know, I'm actually putting more pressure on it than you normally get in your pocket, and basically all it does just kind of dent the coating in just a little bit, and after a few seconds it's completely gone. And then on the front here, again, this would normally just be glass, but just for the sake of showing you guys, I'm putting a lot of pressure on here, and it's not even phasing it. You know, other stuff that you might have in your pocket, like your keys, Again, you just run it along here, and I mean I'm putting a lot of pressure on here. All it does is just kind of dent it in, and after a few seconds it's completely gone. So as you can hopefully see, it's very scratch proof, and I'm very happy with the results that I've had so far. You can also view more scratch tests and demos for other devices as well on the Invisible Shield channel on YouTube. But again, from my experience, I'm very happy with it. If you're looking for either a case or just basically a protective coating for your iPod or other device, definitely suggest you go with the Invisible Shield. It's well worth the money. So as far as my overall rating for it, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. The coverage could have been just very slightly better. I was a little disappointed that it doesn't completely cover every surface. But again, for the money, I'm very happy with it. So I hope this review was helpful for you. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions, and I hope to hear from you soon.